All right, let's dive into the core ideas of U.S. Anderson's book, Three Magic Words. This is a guide that, honestly, promises to unlock an incredible and maybe even forgotten power that's hidden inside every single one of us. This quote kicks things off and it just hits you, right? It perfectly captures that feeling so many of us have, this sense of being a little lost, a little powerless in a world that just feels, well, chaotic. And what's crazy is, the book was written decades ago, but that feeling is probably more real for us now than ever before. So, here's the central promise, the big question we're going to explore. The book says we're not just victims of our circumstances. Not at all. It suggests there's this inner power, this creative force that we can actually learn to tap into to completely change our reality. The real question is, how? Okay, to get a handle on this power, we have to start with the basic mechanics. The book says we don't just have one mind, we actually have two. And figuring out the difference between them, well, that's the first huge step. So think of it like this. On one hand, you've got the conscious mind. That's the one you're using right now to listen to me, to think, to analyze. It deals with the physical world, with logic, with your five senses. It's limited. But then there's the subconscious mind. Anderson says this is basically the universal mind, or you could even say God. He describes it as all-powerful, totally infinite, and the real creative engine that's shaping everything in your life. So you might be wondering, if we have this all-powerful subconscious mind, why aren't we all living these perfect, amazing lives? Well, the book introduces this really powerful idea, the lock. It's like this barrier that separates what we consciously want from our subconscious's power to create it. And it's built piece by piece from a lifetime of negative thinking, of doubts, and these deep, buried fears the book calls prompters. And these prompters, they aren't just, a bad thought you have one afternoon. No. We're talking about something way deeper. These are the conclusions we came to a long time ago about ourselves and the world. That we're not smart enough, that we're not worthy of love or success, that we're just limited. And these beliefs, they run the show from behind the scenes, dictating our reality without us even knowing it. To make this crystal clear, the book tells the story of a man named John Jones. He felt trapped in his life, filled with this deep resentment. And that powerful negative conviction, his prompter, it didn't just stay in his head. According to Anderson, it literally manifested in his body as a brain tumor, creating the exact tragic outcome his subconscious was being told to build. I mean, that just shows you how high the stakes really are. Okay, so that's the problem. This lock, these prompters. The good news is, there's a solution. Let's talk about how you break free and take back that creative authority that's rightfully yours. The book lays out two, let's call them, foundational commandments to get started on this path. First, you have to really get it, deep down, that fear is your number one enemy. It's the very thing that builds the lock. And second, you have to understand the lock itself. You got to become aware of those negative prompters so you can finally start taking them apart. And this, right here, is the key. Not a physical key, but a state of mind. Faith. Now, the book is super clear about this. Faith is not just hoping for the best or wishful thinking. It is a deep, solid, unwavering conviction. It's the mental act of accepting what you want, not as something you will have, but as a fact that has already happened. I mean, this quote says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the whole idea. Our deepest, truest convictions are like direct orders for our subconscious mind. Whatever we truly believe, the universe has to create it for us. The belief itself is the act of creation. So this brings us to the core formula of this entire philosophy. It's so simple, but it's incredibly profound. A thought by itself is just potential. But when you take that thought and you infuse it with unshakable faith, that deep conviction we were just talking about, you become the creator. All right, so all of these pieces, the two minds, the lock, the key of faith, it's all been building towards one ultimate secret. The one that's right there in the title of the book, the Three Magic Words. So what is it? After all this, what's the final piece of the puzzle? What is the ultimate key that ties it all together and truly unlocks this incredible power? These are the three magic words. And listen closely, it's not that you're like God or that you have a little spark of God in you. The book's biggest, most powerful, and most controversial claim is that you are God, that your consciousness is the universal consciousness. So what does that even mean? Well, it means you're not separate from the creative power of the universe. You are a focal point of it.
It means that the responsibility for your health, your success, your happiness, all of it, rests completely on your inner convictions. You are the creator, and the world you're living in is your creation. So, we end on this final, powerful question that just sums up the entire message of Three Magic Words. If your thoughts, supercharged by your faith, are the actual blueprint for your life, the only real question left is, what are you going to choose to create?